And if you want any proof of what we're all so committed to, listen to last week's call, because Afsena's story will totally open your heart, since that's our thing. So, and that course is also offered in English and in Spanish. So you can still sign up for it. And a big shout out to Ariana, who did an amazing job last week, just so helping us be prepared with all the pragmatics, everything you really do need for survival and to thrive in case of an emergency.
Carol.
And Carol, of course. And Carol is in New Mexico, so sending our love to Carol. Pulse clinics are still available in Europe with our beloved Dr. Giovanni. So if you're interested in that, details are in the newsletter. The Nepal trip is now open for March. And I believe that the people who are in Nepal right now with Dr. Clint. So let's just take a moment and rub our hands together and send Dr. Clint and all those wonderful people, excuse me, who are there love. Thank you. Art time is coming up with Sarajit on 11/13. That's so much fun. So join us for art time, $5 donation, and we just have a great time. We're going to be doing seed art. And I think that does it for announcements. Thank you very much.
All right. So you can see those maybe, who's on the call that's new today? Can you put in the chat or just raise your hand if you're new? And I can't, let's see, I'm not on the chat yet. So if anybody on the team can look at that.
Yes, it looks like Kelly's
Kel-
new.
And
Kelly, welcome. Would you like to share anything, Kelly, about being on the call? Do you want to just say hello and where you're from?
Yeah. So Kelly, how did you find the ancient secrets?
Yeah. Can we find Kelly? Anyway, Kelly.
It looks like
Whether or
Paul
not
is
you-
new, and
yeah,
Paul
from
is here.
Paul, Paul, would you
Yeah,
like
go
to
right
speak?
ahead.
Yeah.
Paul from St. Paul. I love that. Yeah.
Paul, how did
Paul,
you
how did
hear
you
about
find the
me?
ancient secrets?
I'm a big follower of Charles Eisenstein. So he had encouraged everybody to listen to the medicine story. So I did. And then I don't know, I just kind of following this loving music. And it kind of excited me to learn some practical, empowering things to help other people. So I'm just joining that emergency preparedness and just tried this call. Thank you.
That is wonderful, Paul. Thank you so much. We welcome you. We welcome you. Great. Anybody else that's new on the call? Let's I'm gonna ask Karen Kellogg. Will you come off mute for a minute?
Sure, but
First of all-
Albert is new from Toronto, Canada, too, I noticed.
Perfect. Thank you. I just want to wish you a very happy birthday.
Oh, thank you so much.
Happy birthday.
And and Karen, I want to ask you, what is it about this community that keeps you coming back?
Oh, wow. Well, anytime you need a shot of love, you just show up here. and it makes you want to, express your love. It's so open. People are vulnerable here and so loving and really positive. It's so fun. And I just love seeing all these faces. And I'm really, really happy that my birthday is on a Sunday call. Just think that's awesome. And I feel like I just want to thank so many of you because I feel like I have good friends here, or I'm getting to know some of you better and better, you know, from coming to the annual meeting that we have, the conference. So thank you all for your thoughts, and I really appreciate being here. I'm going to have to leave early because I'm meeting somebody at a gem show today, which is pretty awesome, but I am going to take one of the books and I'm giving it to the opal man because my birthstone is an opal, and he is such a wonderful man. So he's getting a book today.
That's wonderful. Karen, we wish you a very happy birthday.
Yeah.
Let's rub our hands together and wish her a happy birthday. You have blast of love for your birthday.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Karen. Happy birthday to you. God is blessing you now. God is blessing you now. God is blessing you. You are wonderful.
God is blessed.
God is blessing you now. I'll mute myself,
Oh,
techies.
Linda, wow. Thank you so much. To get that from Linda is really special. Wow. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, everybody.
Oh, Linda. I love these little
Okay,
chats.
beloveds.
Happy birthday. Go ahead.
All right. So can we do the disclaimer? Who's doing the disclaimer?
That would be Robin.
Robin, can you come in?
Great. Go ahead. So the purpose of this call is for educational purposes. So anything that we talk about regarding your health is for your own education. And if there is a health challenge or something that you are needing to talk with a medical professional, natural or Western, we encourage you to do so. So thank you so much, Robin. AnnRaNae.
All right. So somebody said that my voice was, or I was cutting out. Is anybody else having a problem with that? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to actually move myself downstairs. So let's
Okay.
see if we can get a better reception, but I'll just keep talking as we go along. And
Well,
hopefully
how about this? Why
you
don't
can
we
hear.
do the meditation while, why don't we do a little meditation while we're doing
Okay.
that? Is that okay? Great. So
Okay, let's
everyone,
do that.
let's go ahead and drop from our head to our heart. And I'm hoping that the audio is still connected. You know what? Let me make sure. Well, I just wanted to say thank you so much for all of the team that's here that's helping. We have a lot of people who are away, and it has been wonderful working with these people coming together. Robin and Vinay and Susan and Joseph, Esther Francis. It's just been wonderful. So thank you so much. So, okay, here we go. So let's go ahead and put our
Okay,
feet.
so
Go ahead. You're ready now. Go ahead.
all right, so let's go back to putting our hands on our heart. And I like to put like the left hand on the heart and the right hand on the belly. And this just creates a figure eight flow, that wave. Within our bodies. It brings us home to our heart. Just taking long, deep, slow breaths. Becoming aware of your feet on the ground or where you're sitting, that connection to Mother Earth. Just letting your breath follow that figure eight flow from your heart to your belly and back again. Now just opening your crown to the heavens, the light of the sun. to the light and love that you are and that you embody. Just opening your heart to receive the love that's so tangible here on this call. Just feeling the peace of the presence. In the present moment where there is peace, no matter what's happening in our world, you can come home to the heart and find peace. So let's just sit in this place of presence and peace for another minute. And just feel the interconnectedness between all of us. We are all one. We are one with everyone on the planet and the trees and the animals. Inherently, there is no separation. When we go to the heart, we feel that sacred oneness, the divine union. We receive support from each other. And the beautiful thing is that when we're down, someone else is, and when we're up, someone else is down. And when we come together in love, we hold the balance for each other. And we say yes, yes, yes. And thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, beloveds, thank you for that time together. So I almost don't even want to talk. Can you feel the sacred space that we've just gone into? Let's just send each other love right now. So taking a long, deep, slow breath, coming into a little more outer awareness without leaving our heart, right? So I love this quote. I'm going to go back and repeat it again. When you do this thing anonymously with no need of anything in return, ultimately, God blesses you with a feeling no amount of money can buy. So I just want to share with how this quote comes into the book. Dr. Clint was with Dr. Naram and many people in a clinic in Mumbai, and they had finished the clinic after midnight. And everyone just assumed that they were going to go home, right? But what Dr. Naram did was he took them out into the streets of Mumbai, and he had the back of his car was filled with blankets. So he gave each of them an assignment to go take these blankets to find homeless people who were sleeping on the street and cover them with a blanket. And so Dr. Clint said, for the next 2 hours, they covered people who were sleeping on the street with these blankets. And Dr. Naram told Clint, even though our day at the clinic is over, these people are suffering in the cold and we have to help them. And then Dr. Naram told Clint the story that when his father had kicked him out the first night, that his father had kicked him out of the house as a young man, he had to sleep on the streets and someone had covered him with a blanket. And when he woke up covered, he didn't know who covered him, but he blessed them. And he committed in the future to help others who might be in need like he was. So, isn't this beautiful? You know, as we are moving collectively from a time of it all being about me and about money and about power and all of that, and we're opening up to, no, wait a minute, it's not just about me, it's about everybody. And we are moving into that understanding that we are here to serve each other. And take a look at Dr. Naram. His whole life was about that, from morning to night and 3 a.m. in the morning, right? And Dr. Clint is also showing us this unconditional love and service to humanity. So I really feel like this is where we're going. So how many of you have had an experience where you actually did something anonymously for someone and felt the love return? Let's just put your hands up or put a yes in the chat. And I would just like to really open it up to someone who would like to share with us what that experience might have been. You can just raise your hand if you'd like to share. Okay, so Linda, would you want to share something?
Yes, my name is Linda, and I live in Mount Shasta, California, and I am brave enough to share because it seems like I understand God would like me to share. Many times I have given something without expecting return, being a survivor of homelessness myself, and I know what it's like to suffer. And by the time I transition, I would love to be remembered as a very kind person, as well as a good or maybe even a great visual artist and writer. And yeah, I guess the most recent incident of financial seva, I'll call it, was giving a small Venmo donation to our good friend Minnie Barrett, who's doing so much to organize relief for Hurricane Milton and Helene survivors. And wow, she's just been a huge archangel of organization disaster relief there. And I mean, who knows, maybe the same time next year, that could be us in the same mess. I don't know what's going to happen next year. Very few of us do. And I've got some astrology and dream time and those daily cards going on. But anyways, I'm going to make a pitch for taking the Ancient Secrets for Emergency course. I learned a headache remedy for the sinus headache, and oh my God, it worked. So I'm going to build my herbal
Beautiful.
kit. Thank you. And maybe I should
Thank
pass the
you.
mic on to someone else.
All
I love
right.
you.
Thank you for sharing. And thank you for bringing up about Mindy, who she's this huge angel, angel wings, who God always puts her in these places where this emergency is happening. And she is always boots on the ground. for some of you who don't know, that her whole house burned down in Maui, and she's been in many of these storms in Florida. She was next to the storm in North Carolina, and then she has gone to Asheville to help. So she is really the poster child for this quote, isn't she? For sure. Yeah. So anybody else want to come on who wants to share about feeling that immense blessing that comes back when we do something for someone without expecting in return? Can anyone share a personal story about that?
I would.
Okay, go ahead.
Bridget.
Who is this? I don't even.
That's Bridget.
Go.
Yes, Bridget.
Oh, Bridget. Yeah. Okay.
Hi, guys. I have always loved sharing anonymously because it's like good always comes back. I don't like to share what I do because I'm not that way, but I will share two things. One time in Washington State, I made like 75 dozen cookies for this Native American school for homeless children. And it was just a good feeling to do that at Christmas. I didn't expect anything back, but it was a good feeling. But the most beautiful thing of sharing anonymously was in Colorado about 3 years ago. My mother was in the hospital in Pueblo, and I was at a hotel, and homeless ones were all around the hotel. And I stepped outside and to get a breath of fresh air, and like I just started talking with some of these people, and just really beautiful people. And I went back in and I noticed one person sitting in the corner. It was a beautiful woman who was homeless. She'd been homeless about 6 months. And then I noticed another man who was homeless. And guys, to look in this guy's eyes, has anybody ever seen the eyes of an angel, the eyes of Christ, the eyes of God? I went in, I got a blanket out of the hotel. And it was just sitting there and I just took it. Maybe I stole it, maybe I didn't, but it went to somebody who needed it because it was cold. So when I gave that guy the blanket, the look in his eyes, again, if you ever see the eyes of an angel, just the love that I felt without expecting anything in return, I still get chills. The next morning, I walked outside and that older lady was sitting up against a wall, cold, brick. She had just sat outside the hotel all night. So I went into the buffet and helped myself to a little breakfast, and I gave her breakfast from the buffet. So my point is I gave without expecting anything in return because I wanted to see others feel better. And it all came about from reading Ancient Secrets of a Master Healer. I was probably at the chapter about Dr. Naram sharing blankets with the homeless. And Luke has always been an inspiration with me because he actively does this all the time. So my point is when you give, you're just going to feel wonderful, and always give without expecting anything in return. There's so much truth to that. Thank you for hearing my story.
Oh, thank you, Bridget. It was so great to have you. And Luke, I do want to go to you because I know that you are actively doing this all the time. This is part of your mission. So do you want to come in?
Sure. I mean, I have multiple stories every single week, quite honestly, because every week, several days a week, I'm giving to the homeless people food, water, cash, clothing, blankets. And what Bridget said about seeing the look in their eyes when you're giving something like that, something that they really need, that's something that's going to help them, because my heart goes out to them, because imagine what it's like to fight for survival every day on the streets. We all take our lives for granted, even if we're not rich, as long as we have a place to live and a place to sleep and some food every day. Imagine what it'd be like to sleep on the streets every day. Some of these women are on the streets with their young children every single day, every single night, sleeping in alleyways, wherever they could find a place. So whenever possible, I go into the streets. Sometimes I run across somebody. I always have stuff in my car. protein bars, bottles of water, cash, blankets. But sometimes I go proactively into the streets where so many of them hang out. I mean, just so many. I don't have enough in my car to give to all of them at one time, so I do what I can at a single time. But they're always giving me blessings. Every time I give to them, they're blessing me. Thank you, sir. Bless you, sir. They're so incredibly thankful. So it's like what Bridget was saying, to see the look in their eyes and the thanks, and I talk to them and I ask them their name and we have a conversation. I engage them, because most people don't do that. Most people just treat them like nothing, like they don't exist. So it's very rewarding, because yes, I do this not expecting anything in return. I do this out of the love of my heart. I've been doing this for, must be about 2.5, I think it's going on 3 years now, actually. But it's really a wonderful seva, and I'll never stop doing it. Thank you.
Thank you, Luke, for sharing that. And thank you for doing that service and that being a part of your mission. And I'm realizing that so many people have stories, so we're not going to get to everybody, but if you can write your story, even in the chat, then we'll all have it. So, yeah, Vinay, can you share with us, you said that you had some shares about being with Dr. Naram, where Dr. Naram was doing this service.
Yeah, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. And I would like to wish Karen one more time, happy birthday. And it's always a great feeling to be with her community, my family. And I'm missing everyone. And I want to hug everyone again, probably in Sedona. I would like to say that because the quote we have today, that Dr. Naram has lived his life. Throughout his life, he lived this way only. I would like to share about one incident where we were working in the clinic, and there was one lady who was about to, she got pregnant with the help of the remedies of the Ayush Shakti. And we came to know, and she came with the family, and she left, and she's staying in the Gujarat. Suddenly, at the end of the clinic, that person from the medicine department came, and he told to me, and at that time there was one more person who was assisting Dr. Naram. His name is Mr. Anil Pandya. So he told Mr. Anil Pandya that this lady came who's pregnant, and in place of giving the Garbha Rakshak, one of the remedy, we by mistake with the same spelling thing, we have given the different one, which is not good for that lady. Now we were looking for that lady, and then we came to know that lady has left from there because she has to go all the way, travel back to the Gujarat. Now Dr. Naram came to know these things. So Dr. Naram, without looking or saying anything to anyone, he chose that I want to help this lady anyhow. So he told that, Mr. Pandya, you right away, you take these bottles with you and take extra few bottles from my side, and you go and just anyhow you meet this lady and you have to give it to her. This is your duty. We have looked for the train bookings, because same time, and it was late night, so all the trains went away. So Dr. Ram said, okay, you take this money and you go book your flight now, whatever the price may be. Don't ask me whether it's a cheaper or costly one. Buy the plane ticket and go and meet this lady and give it to her and apologize to her on my behalf, and make sure that you call from there, because I also want to apologize to her. Now, this is a incident, this really touched me, because Dr. Nam, he could have told to Mr. Anil Pandya, okay, you take care of it, I'm going home. But at that time, we completed the clinic around 1:30, 2 o'clock midnight. He stayed awake till Mr. Anil Pandya reached to that lady's place in Gujarat, and then Mr. Pandya make him speak with that lady, then only Dr. Naram went to the bed. It was around in the morning, 8 o'clock. So this is what Dr. Naram has done, the so many things. If I have the time, I want to share one more little small example. We know everyone Dr. Juwani, right? So one day, there was a situation where Dr. Juwani got a heart situation. And in that time, we having the clinic. So, and suddenly this situation happened. And we took Dr. Juwani to one of the, those who have come to the Ayush Shakti, they know the Dr. Rajeshri Mehta's cabin. So we brought Dr. Juwani over there. Dr. Naram himself came over there. And though there was almost 150 patients who were waiting at that time in the waiting area, he chose to help to Dr. Juwani. He instructed us what to do, and we were just helping Dr. Juwani. And after coming out of the cabin of Dr. Mehta, he stood in the waiting area, and with a folded hand, he requested everyone. He is one of my best students from Italy, and it is important for me to help him. I know that it's taking so much of time because I have to take over an emergency. But those who are ready to stay here, please do this mantra. And I promise you that I will give you my 1000% before you leave. And those who want to leave, those who don't wait, not able to wait, I will give you your money back. You choose whatever you want to, but I have to manage this person. Now, this is what really touched me. And this is what we have learned from Dr. Naram. That no matter what, whatever happens, it's daytime or nighttime. If somebody calls up, if somebody messages us, we have to help them out because we don't know what is their situation in that time. So this is our foremost duty to serve to the patient, to serve to the humanity, and that's how we can be a part of the Dr. Naram's mission. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing that, and I think that's so important what you just gave to us about not Dr. Naram, it's like, and I have to take a look at myself too, because like sometimes I get a call and I don't feel like it's like the right timing for me to take it, but sometimes, we don't know what is on the other end and what the other person actually needs from us at that time. So thank you for that reminder, like really to tune into our heart before we make the decision of whether we're going to take the call or not, because somebody might really need us at that point. So Chris, your hand has been up for a while. Would you like to share with us?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Oh, yeah, I just wanted to share, I think I've been on the giving and receiving end of the exchange of love and consideration for others and others for me. And I was taught by my father just to live life by the golden rule, which kind of simplifies everything. But that's how I've always tried to live the best of my ability. And I think it promotes integrity as well with whatever kind of work that you do. If you're living out your purpose and what you're doing, love exists in everything that you do for others. So like in my artwork and any of the work that I do, whether it's metal work or woodwork, I am creating and giving from my heart to anyone that wants me to do any work for them. And that's how I show my love for others. That's my love language, I guess you could call it, is I show others my love for them in my artwork, like Joseph and Susan. I've done a lot of work for them. Always my pleasure. Always feel that loving energy exchanged every time. So, yeah, it's always been a pleasure to be a part of that exchange.
Chris, thank you for
Well, I
sharing.
wanted to say thank you.
Just
Yeah, thank you.
reminding us that you know, doing everything with love is
Yeah.
what we are aiming for, right? Is that we come more and more
Yes.
into our heart, more and more present in every moment, right? And then it doesn't matter what we're doing. And I've always said that, you know, many people said, well, what's my purpose of life? But really, you know, the clerk at the grocery store who is checking out your groceries and just blessing you and blessing the food as it goes by, they are performing a mission, right? And maybe that is their mission to life. So I love that. Thank you, Chris. We're coming on, and you know, I just want to share. I would like to share a brief moment that I had when, you know, a couple people have really. Can someone just highlight me? There we go. Okay, a couple of people have really expressed about the look that comes back from the one who is receiving. And that is the blessing in itself when they receive what you are offering. And I had this one profound experience in Austria. I was getting off a train and going to a bus. So this train station was on the second level where I got off. And we had to go in an elevator down to the ground floor. And this elevator was one of those elevators that you get on in one door and you leave an exit on the other side. So when I got onto the elevator, there was already a man there with a walker. I came into the middle, and then a man came in with two children behind me. So on the way down, I was talking to the man with his children. I never had a connection to this man in the front. We get off down below and walk outside the building, and we're going towards the bus stops, and he goes to the bus that I'm going to get on. Now, this man had serious, I don't know whether he'd had a stroke, but he was walking very wobbly, even with his walker, and his legs were very stiff. So he was like very unstable. So I'm walking behind him, and we get to the bus, and it's like, I don't know if this man can actually get on the bus. So I'm like the golden angel holding the space for him behind, just energetically. He gets on the bus and he walks around the corner to the place where the wheelchairs are so that he can just stand. And I sit down in a seat across from him, and I'm just energetically holding the space for him. And this bus driver he doesn't know about subtleties in driving the bus. It's like the bus is going like this, and this man is going like this as the bus is jerking as we're driving. And then I had a backpack and I put it on my seat, and I see that this man pushes the button that he needs to get off. And so I'm like going, okay, I really want to help this man get off. So he starts to go to the bus starts to slow down, but it's very jerky and it's going like this. The man's going like this, and he goes to the door, and I just get up and I go behind him, and I'm standing behind him. And as he's getting off, I put my hand on his shoulder just to stabilize him. And as he gets to the bottom, he turns around and he looks at me, and there was just this immense look of gratitude where it was like he was saying, thank God somebody has my back. And it was just this amazing moment of receiving that gratitude for that person. And then what had happened was my backpack fell off the seat when I got up to help him. In that backpack was a treasure with a statue with wings on it. And when I got to the place that I was going to set up the altar, the wing was broken. And this is a very precious statue to me, but you know, it was just like, I would do that a million times for that look of appreciation from that man. So that is my biggest story of just having been there for someone and received that gratitude from them. So let's take a breath on that and just go to that point of just truly remembering, you know, when we have really been there for someone in that moment of need and really have been the golden angel on the job, the earth angel there. So, Nehemiah, do you have something you want to share?
Yes, and I don't have a camera today.
Okay,
Can you hear me?
we can hear you.
Okay, so let's see, try to cut it short. Like many people here, I was brought up on service in kibbutz where everybody was, and my parents, my mother was social worker, my father died when I was 3 months, but he was about service. And when I discovered who he was, I knew it was all about service. So it's been very natural, and even the name I was given, Nehemiah, Nehemiah, mean divine compassion. So I live by that every day, and I created, right now, I'm on charity number 9, 2 in America and 7 in Israel. But instead of praising whatever I did, I just want to share that now that I am older, my name, Nehemiah, divine compassion, come back to me. Because when I go down the stairway in the subway with a bag of, stair walker of 12 singing bowls, everybody come to help me. So many people have love in this New York City where people are so busy. Some people are too busy to help, but some people always find. So there are so many people that have just get in touch with love in their heart. The last service that I would like to do now, it's not anonymous because you can hear, is for 2 men called Yossi. I'll start from Yossi, who is not present, from Yossi, who is present here. He introduced himself, but he came too late, so you didn't see him. Yossi is here for the first time, and he met Dr. Naram about the same time that I met him in the charity of Serving Us Who Serve. Maybe he would like to say something. And the other Yossi is in the kibbutz of my brother, a close friend, that him and his wife, Adassa, had a severe accident. And he is a person that told me while we were picking up grapefruit in the kibbutz, he told me that he is an expert in the Middle East. And he told me, there are 2 nations here, and each one of them have a right to the land. Each one of them have a right to the land. Each one of them says, it's only my right. No, both of them have the right to the land, the Israelis and the Palestinians. And they must find one day a compromise how to live together and to respect each other. And I'm afraid that's not what's happening now in my beloved country. Not my beloved government, of course, my beloved country. But maybe some people like in Europe, they have to go through many wars until they learn how to compromise, So I hope so that this war will be maybe the last one. And that Yossi
Yes. So,
Amitai, the name of the other one is named Adassa, were very sick and need healing. Not sick. Yossi Amitai was wounded in a big accident. So if you can send him healing energy, like the way you sent to my brother about a couple of years ago, it will help him to survive and maybe to see this peace that he has been dreaming about and be holding about. That's it for today. Thank you for letting me
thank
speak.
you, Nehemiah, for your
Maybe
sharing.
Yossi
And
maybe Yossi Cohen was here want to say something if you want to invite him, if it's right.
we're all, so much holding that space for the planet. And, we're going through an intense time on this planet, aren't we? So it's up to all of us as earth angels, which we all are, to just really be strong and hold that space. Because, for me, like, I don't know how it all turns out, but I know that we're going to make it through this time. we're going to be stronger, we're going to be in the heart, we're going to be in a greater collective, and we're going to be helping each other in ways that maybe we've never been able to do before, because we have grown so much into that understanding that it's not just about me, it's about all of us, and we're all here to serve each other in whatever capacity and whatever gifts and resources that we have to do that. So Ariana, you want to share something? You're still muted. You're muted, Ariana.
I know. It took me a while. I ended up on the wrong screen. Yeah, this one memory came back. My career for I don't know, over 25 years was working in a program for the environment, and I was so adamant about environmental education, especially for the young people. And as I headed towards the last 5 years of that career, I thought, I've been doing this for so long. And so I took some courses, well, about a year's worth, kind of an academy for life coaching. And I thought, yeah, I could get into that. I really want to do something for people. And so I did that. And then at some point it was like, okay, I can't work those two jobs. I was doing 24/7. And I went, I'm going to stick with what I've done with environmental ed. And I thought, I can always just give the coaching freely if people want it. And so there was a young gal, she was 22. She was in the adult program. I'd hired her on as a supervisor, and she was just an amazing person, an amazing worker. And I could see, there was these parts of her that were in a lot of doubt about her future. She was somebody who was in the military, and I don't remember which branch or what, but she had this dream to become a pilot. And so we would have these talks, and eventually she was going to leave the program. She thought I was a little out there in left field. She was like, the unseen was something that, you got to show me proof of things. But I just loved this person. And I thought, I told her as she left, I gave her a picture. I said, what exact kind of a airplane did you want to fly? And she told me whatever it was, some military plane. And I dug around and I found this picture, and I put her face in the driver's seat. And I just did this, just with graphics. I put her face in the driver's seat, and I gave her that. I wrapped it up, gave it to her as a goodbye present with some affirmations to say with the card, And I remember her opening going, oh, that's really nice. And I said, yeah, just look at it every night before you go to bed. Look at it in the morning. Say those affirmations. Just, and she just looked at me like, yeah, I don't think so. So then I said, listen, if you want any coaching, I am happy to take my free time. And she didn't know what coaching was really. And she said, I explained it. She said, yeah, sure. And so we had maybe 2-3 calls, but this lady was so amazing. She was the kind of person you give her a piece of information and she runs with it. And the thing that was so rewarding about taking time for this woman was that I think it was only like 4 months after she left, maybe 5. And you see, she had taken the test in the Army to fly, and she flunked it or didn't pass it. And she was so fearful that there was one more chance she had in the Army, but she only had one chance. And so her block was, there's no way I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm going to flunk it. And she was so terrified that she wouldn't take the test. And she said, well, there's no other way. And anyway, so that was kind of the background. Well, 3 months after, I talked to her, a couple of times. This lady was so amazing. And she called me up and she goes, guess what? And I said, what? She goes, I'm getting my pilot's license. And I was just like, yeah, wow, celebration. But the thing that it was so beautiful, because then she she told me that she had every night makes me want to cry. She looked every night, and this was so outside her box, but she every night looked at that picture I gave her. and said, you know, whatever those affirmations were. And it was so touching. It just made me realize, I mean, it was one of those things, you know, giving, and I had no expect of anything, but I just really cared about this person. And so, yeah, that's my story. Thank you.
Thank you, Ariana, because you know, it's so important that we hold a space for each other and see the greatness, right? And just like you, one person holding that space can make all the difference in our life. And you really did that for that person. So I just really want to salute you and thank you for sharing that, because, you know, in my own life, I have felt so much that if I had had a mentor who really believed in me, that I would have done so much more. So we can't underestimate what the value is of our just even giving somebody a compliment or holding their hand. My friend is saying, loves to say, we're all walking each other home. And I like to think that we're all walking each other home to our greatness. So thank you so much, beloved. So, Naomi, can you come in? No, or I'm not sure how to say your name. Noemi?
No problem. No, well, in Spanish is Noemi, so in English it would be Naomi. No, so it's not a problem. Thank you for letting me share this, and hello to everyone. I just wanted to share a quick story. I was traveling in Mexico a couple of years ago. I was driving, and we stopped to get some breakfast with my grandma, my mother, and another aunt. So we stopped there, and a bunch of kids start coming in to us to sell like souvenirs, like from archaeological place. So we ate breakfast and all that, and he started, you know, talking to us, and we start. In Yucatan is like a saying, like a bomba is like a kind of like a song that they do for little kids, you know. So I offered him if he wanted to have breakfast. And he said, yes, you know, I did it from my heart. But the amazing thing is that I ordered him his own breakfast. He sat on the table and he started calling the other kids to share his breakfast, one breakfast for like 5 kids. So that was the beautiful thing he did, because he didn't want it for himself. He liked to share with the others. So I ordered more breakfast for all the kids. So I was just feeling like you guys said, looking at his eyes, you know, and sharing what he had for himself. And I asked him, do you want Coca-Cola or milk? You know, and he said milk, because he wanted to share it with the other kids. So I ordered more milk for the other kids. And it was so beautiful. So thank you. It was just a short story. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing that, you know, and there's another story of, you know, the children in Africa when they were a basket of candy or something, and the person that ran the fastest to the basket of candy could have it for themselves. But they all joined hands and ran together, so they all got there at the same time. So it's so beautiful when we experience this. It really is the law of the one, right? In action. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you. Thank you.
I just love these sharings today. It's just so beautiful to remember. It is, we're coming back to that remembering, you know, of that we are here as earth angels, and how good it really feels to share with each other and to be there for each other. And I have this personal motto now that is doing good feels good. So doing good feels good. And I love it. So Daniel, can you come on, Devananda?
And then after Devananda, we'll get set up to go to the breakout rooms.
But it's so short.
Hi, hi, Jaina. Hi. Yes, what I wanted to say is related to what you just said about doing good is feeling good, which helping, you know, we all probably have helped and expecting something back in the past. But the real help is like when we are able to help someone And actually we are helping ourselves, and that's how I feel nowadays. When I'm able to help, the real satisfaction is see and be able to see that, you know, my help has caused an effect. And I think it's because this is not the illusion, this is the real thing, you know, the feelings and the, you know, the spiritual acts that are the real ones. When I am able to active one of those, that's a real satisfaction, because it's something that doesn't die, you know, and it stay with you. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share.
Thank you so much for that. You know, and what I love about that is Marcy Smirnoff, she wrote Happy for No Reason. But on one of the calls that I heard with her, she talked about how it's actually scientifically been shown to us that when we go to do something kind, that we actually have endorphins that we feel through our body before we actually even do the service. So what you said about, you know, like, I can't remember how you put it, but it was like, basically, this is not just for the other person. I'm getting these endorphins, these good feelings through me. So it's just such a blessing that we're here to bless each other, isn't it? Thank you so much. So Jana, is it time?
Yeah, it's time. I am very touched by this conversation. I love to give. I've been giving for a very long time, and I'm learning to receive. But I think the thing that has been, there's something else that I would like people to kind of bring to their attention, because this is something that's really touched me just now. I have been giving and giving in a certain capacity, and another person that has been giving and giving in the same capacity, I discovered that they were being paid for that. And it really set me back, because it made me feel like what I was contributing had less value. And what I've noticed is that when I've held on to that, it's diminished my soul. And so it's so important to be able to let go of whatever contract or arrangement. It doesn't matter what is in place. But I've just noticed the negative effect that it has had on me, and how important this teaching of Dr. Naram is, that we need to give with no expectation. So thank you.
Jana,
Very, very important conversation.
It's an important conversation. You know, that we, in our giving, you know, what I'm learning is I've been supporting this woman in Romania for 3 years now, and her family, and now I don't have the resources that I can support her, you know, I mean, even support myself, sort of. So I think this is so important. This understanding is that, yes, we give, but at the same time, we have to receive in order to have our cup filled enough to be able to give and give again. And so it's both a tangible material thing, but it's also an energetic thing of receiving, and then also knowing when, you know what, I have to take care of myself now. Yeah.
Very true.
So
Very true.
I would just, I mean, Jana, everybody on this call, everybody who's been on these calls forever know how incredibly, how much you give to this community, unselfishly, every week showing up. So I would just like to really put our hands together and really send Jana some appreciation, huge appreciation for all the love and how she consistently shows up to do these calls, to monitor them, to love on all of us, and to just be this incredible beacon of light that we all depend upon every week in this call. Yes?
Thank you,
We
Jana.
love you. We love you,
Thank
Jana.
you, Jana.
We love you.
We love
Love
you,
it, Jada. Thank you
Jada.
so
We love
much.
you. We are with
Yes,
you,
yes,
sweetie pie.
yes.
Evie has
Priceless
an
in your
amazing
Great
work.
seeing
family.
you.
Anna, you are so lovable. You are
We
so
love you,
lovable.
Jada.
Big angel.
Thank
Jada, you
You
have
are
an
like a teddy
amazing
bear to
value
hug.
to us, Jada.
Love you,
Thank you
Jada.
so much. I love all of you so much.
And we love you, Jana. And some of you, most of, I don't know how many people on the call know the yes, yes, yes that I'm famous for, but it's yes, 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 and the blessing comes down. So let's just, I'm going to spotlight myself, or can somebody
Yeah, I
spotlight
think
me?
your camera is not working. It says that your bandwidth is low. But let's just do that. I'll
Oh.
just do it. There you go.
Okay, here we are. We're
Now
going
we
to do
can
the
see.
yes, yes, yes. And what we're saying yes to is, first of all, the blessing on Jana, but the blessing on all of us for all of the good works that we do. And but one more part before that is that I love this gesture, and it is the honoring yourself gesture, which is putting your hands crossed over and just taking a moment to close your eyes and honor yourself for the blessing that you are to life and all the ways that you're showing up. And then when we bow our head, it's the blessing of everyone else on the call and all the ways that they're showing up. And now we're going to do the yes, 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 which is the blessing that comes down for Jana, for her work, and for everyone showing up in all ways that we do. So it's left, right, and 3 times up, 3 times. And then at the top is ooh, and this is where the rainbow colored fairy dust comes down to bless everybody for all of their contributions to life. So we're going to do this. We're
Saying
gonna
that
add this up.
again. Do you mind saying that again, what it is? Because, oh, now I couldn't see you before.
Yes.
Now I can.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, yes, yes. Right?
Just do it with us.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. 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 Here we go. Yes. 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 Ooh. And the blessing comes.
Wonderful. AnnRaNae, thank you so much for a beautiful conversation. Bridget and Ariana and Chris and Luke and Bridget, all of you have shared such beautifully. If I've missed somebody, I apologize. Thank you so much for bringing this important topic to our awareness, and just live your life with love. Thank you so much. Robin, are you ready for the breakout rooms?
I am.
And great. Let's go ahead and unmute ourselves and say, I love you and I'm with you.
I love
you and I'm
Love
with
you
you.
and I'm with you.
Love you and I'm with you.
Love you and I'm with you.
I love you and I'm with you.
Love you and I am with you.
Love you.
Love
Love
you.
you and I am
Love you
with
and
you.
I'm with you.
Love you and I am with you.
I'm with you.
Love you and
Harvey,
I
love
am
you
with
and I'm
you.
with you. Susan and Joseph, love you and I'm with you. Harvey,
Love you and I am with
Wonderful.
you.
Thank you so much.
Love you and I am with you.
I love you and I'm with you.
Robin,
I
let's go
love
ahead
you and
and
I am
open up
with
the
you.
breakout rooms.
All right.
Yeah.
There we go.